This isn't part of my normal way of doing things, but a suggestion was put before me on a topic that is quite prevalent in certain areas of these YouTube streets. I was a bit reluctant because so many individuals are involved in this sort of activity that there are even a few content creators that I consider distant YouTube colleagues involved. So this to me is a situation that could hypothetically or literally have me opening a can of worms that I've never been interested in opening. And that can of worms is going back and forth in an online battle with someone I don't even know over something that is no longer relevant to the point for which it was started. And I definitely don't want to be involved in something like that. So, what I've decided to do is speak only on the subject matter without mentioning any names or pointing in any particular direction. That way, no one in particular can or should take personal offense. And who's ever guilty of the subject matter itself, well, you know whether those shoes fit you or not. Hell, some have already expressed that they feel that even I fit into the category in some ways. I don't feel that I do, but I'll add myself just to be a part of the all-inclusive. Subject matter: bullying. The person that brought this particular subject up as possible commentary content addressing that issue may not know this, but I was there in the beginning. I watched her enter the fray of what I think is considered to be the ASI sector now. I myself am not really familiar with what the sectors are or which is which. I just hear people talking or referring to them all the time. And as I always do, I just sit back, observe, listen, and learn. Anywho, that first moment where you gave your opinion on a certain panel a few months back, I immediately wanted to warn you of the dangers in treading water in that particular section without knowing what's in those waters. But the one thing that I've learned over the many years of my existence, I would be considered an elder by most, is that in order to learn how to tread water, you must first learn that in those waters exist small waves, medium waves, large waves, choppy waves, sporadic waves, and even an occasional rogue tsunami. So, when venturing into any unknown waters, you should first study the history of its nature, which in this case means a lot of observing. Like a lot. One of the first things that I immediately noticed about you was your proficiency with intelligent vocabulary. That within itself is a major advantage in these streets. It's one of the reasons why I visited your YouTube channel. It's one of the reasons why I watched all of your videos. And after watching your content, it gave me a sense that you would more than likely be able to handle yourself in these streets. And I can't help but imagine that if just a few of those who you've now classified as bullies had just simply taken the time to also visit and take in your content, a certain level of decorum would have injected itself into the way they engage or converse with you. Hence the reason that you're probably experiencing what you're experiencing. Ugh. The person that I have been somewhat accused of bullying, I wasn't bullying at all. I quite liked the content that he put up. In fact, I still like the content. It was only when it went into certain areas that I spoke out and addressed what I and many others considered, let's say, outside of relevancy. And this is why I don't agree with the narrative that I was being a bully. If you don't do things that are outside of the relevancy of topic, I wouldn't have anything to address. Now, in the case of the individual that suggested this particular commentary, I recommend if you're going to stay in the neighborhood, you know what? Let me change that. If you're going to hang out in these YouTube streets, a significant amount of study and observation has to take place because there are a multitude of bullies in every area, every corner, every crack of these YouTube streets. In fact, the entire social media world as a whole has them. And you're either going to have to be quiet or not be quiet, but know how to verbally deal with anyone, no matter how proficient they think they are. One of the most spectacular mental faculties to have in your social media dealings repertoire is the ability not to focus on bully social media comments directed at you that was probably posted by someone doing way worse than you. Never give a comment or someone's opinion outside of what you know of yourself any amount of power, because that's like giving someone more power over you than even you. Recognize that that person's comments may be the only source of power they have in their lives, and it's worth more than anything to them, especially if they know how much it affects those that they use them on. All you have to do is simply turn off their power by being prepared. Whether it's ignoring their comments altogether, which can work wonderfully if done right, or responding to the comment on levels well beyond their reach of even having a formidable response. In any case, bullying is just a mask of ineptness. If you look at it like that, seeing it only as that, it's like a pesky bug occupying your space. A bug that you know you can squash anytime you're ready. I'm not ready yet. Okay, I'm ready. There. See how easy that was?